Bruna is married to Rodrigo, but Rodrigo, after an accident, was in a wheelchair, so Bruna went out every day to sell sweets to support herself as she had no one to leave her husband with. She took him along. Bruna always had an Interese side, because Rodrigo gave her a very good life. After her accident she had to make ends meet. More ironically, that day they were selling their sweets when a man looks at Bruna and is interested in her. Because she is a beautiful woman and very tricky, the man is called Manuel. He tries to conquer Bruna for the money. Bruna ends up thirsting and getting involved with the man for money. She left Rodrigo outside Manuel's house alone. As soon as they end the relationship between the two, Bruna says, "I need to go." Manuel says, "It's still early, come here, let's enjoy it a little longer." Bruna says, "It's starting to rain and I left Rodrigo outside." Manuel says, "But he's in a wheelchair, he won't get out of there alone, come on, let's enjoy it." Bruna says, "Better know he's alone out there." Manuel says, "Just stay a little longer, because I have a lot to offer you if you stay." He shows the money. Bruna is impressed with all the money and ends up staying there with Manuel and her husband as he couldn't get around on his own. He stayed outside. In which city are you watching this story right now? After they finish, Bruna says, "Well, my husband is outside all wet." Manuel says, "It's a waste of time for you to stay with him, look at the state he's in, now with me you only have to win." Bruna takes the money and says, "It really was worth all that money." Manuel says, "And whenever you want money just come to me." Bruna says, "Okay," and go. Bruna leaves. Rodrigo is outside very nervous, apparently having a fit. Bruna says, "I don't need you anymore, look, take this money and call a taxi." Bruna leaves Rodrigo there alone and leaves. He gets desperate there. Days later, Bruna gets a taste for the easy life. She starts to get involved with many men simply for the easy money that this life has provided her. But she ends up getting excited, because money that comes easy tends to go even easier. A few months later, Bruna realizes that she is spending too much and is running out of money. She says, "I'm going to have to go to my gold mine today to get a lot more money." The gold mine that Bruna talks about is Manuel, who always gives her a lot of money. She asks the driver to take her to Manuel's house. She even says to her driver, "This life has me enchanted, that's what I like, luxury money, parties." She tries to call Manuel to let him know she's coming, but he doesn't answer her. She insists on going anyway. She says she's going to make a surprise for him. She then arrives at Manuel's house. He is outside the house. Bruna arrives and says, "Hi, I came to surprise you." Manuel says, "Hi, how are you?" She replies, she's fine, and asks if she can come in. Manuel says, "Yes, of course." She enters and greets him. They're going to sit on a bench outside the house. She is all excited and asks him how he's been doing. Manuel, who looks strange and with strange glasses, says, "I'm fine, and you?" Bruna says, "I'm fine. I left my husband useless, and I'm living very well, with lots of luxury and money. I'm fine, I have everything I want." Manuel says, "I noticed you're enjoying it very well." He takes the money and says, "I imagine you came to me for this?" Bruna says, "Yes, that and for one more reason." Manuel takes off his glasses, and he is pale and looks sick. Bruna looks at him and says, "What is wrong with you? Is sick?" Manuel says, "Yes, and you probably are too." He says he has a sexually transmitted disease. Bruna gets angry and leaves. Manuel says, "That only happened because you got carried away by the Interese." The end of Bruna, who, now without money and with an incurable disease, ended up on the streets begging for alms. Ironically, Rodrigo finds her on the street begging for alms. Rodrigo found someone who never gave up helping him to walk again, and today he is fine and recovered. Bruna, when she recognizes him, asks for Lost, and tries to go back with him. She says she is happy that he is well and walking again. He replies, "Yes, I found someone who really loves me and fought for my recovery." Bruna begs to go back with Rodrigo, says that they can rebuild their lives together. He says, "No, I already have my family." He takes it and leaves. What did you think of this story? What would you do? Leave your opinion there in the comments. We must know that life is like a boomerang. All thoughts, feelings, and everything we sow, one day we will reap. if we have someone by our side, we must take care regardless of whether the circumstances are good or bad. Many times we are exposed to temptations and we are led by the love of money. We have to think about what we really want, because we can lose the one we love most for the rest of our lives. And no money is able to bring that back.